It's 1971, August 14, and you can bring $35 to a bank for an ounce of actual gold. 24 hours later, and you can't do that anymore. On Sunday morning, August 15, which is my birthday by the way, stock markets were closed and US President Richard Nixon went live on national television to announce that US would no longer convert dollars to gold.
Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
This day is written in the history books as Nixon's shock, the end of the gold standard, and marks the new era of money tied to nothing. You see, for almost 100,000 years, we associated wealth with tangible physical goods and services until August 15, 1971. One decision forever changed the definition of wealth. On Wikipedia, current definition of wealth goes as follows. Wealth is the abundance of valuable financial assets or physical possessions which can be converted into a form that can be used for transactions. If you pause, like this video, and read this description carefully, you might as well get a little bit nervous as I did first time reading this. Let's break it down. Your valuable financial assets or physical possessions first need to be convertible into different form, presumably agreed on and accepted by society. And this agreed upon form needs to be able to be transactional between different parties. So what happens to your wealth if you can't convert your asset and do transactions? The best example to illustrate this is sanctions imposed on Russia's invasion in Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. But can you still be wealthy if you can't exchange financial or physical goods with others? Take a look how the father of economics in 1776, Adam Smith, the Scottish economist and philosopher, defined wealth in his Wealth of Nations. Wealth is an annual produce of the land and labor of society. The produce here is the satisfaction of wants and needs for unity as a model of wealth. Well, in a human word, an annual human satisfaction of wants and needs from a sum of labor and land of society. Back in the days of a much smaller world, the sum of goods meant wealth. Think kingdoms and empires like British and Mongol, adding to their wealth by occupying our lands. Another thing that mattered in 1776 was annual produce. Perhaps it was not enough to have one good year of production. To be wealthy and satisfied required peace of mind based on predictability and consistency to be able to cultivate assets or labor. There are many descriptions and definitions of wealth depending on where and when you look. As we enter the scene of global economics, it is also no surprise that convertibility of an asset is of importance. Think like ruble into digital ruble, and the ability for transactions. Think swift ban on Russian banks. These have emerged as a leading aspect, perhaps even more as owning a thing itself. So while in your daily life you can't do that much about transactions and what central power governments and institutions have over you, well, that's not true. You can learn about technologies like blockchain and crypto, which are exactly addressing this issue. Nevertheless, what you can do is to convert one asset form to build your wealth. But how do you do that? How do you convert an asset form into something valuable? You can either physically convert an asset or change how people see the thing itself. Think builder and influencer. One has the ability to take an item and shape it in something different that potentially has a value. Another one, with the power of persuasion, can change how people see the thing itself. Easy example, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Or you can also make people believe that lemons are not good for your health and they should steer away from it. If you have such influence, now the destiny of the whole lemonade industry is in your hands, all the way from production to the lemonade stand clerk. We have witnessed marketing change demands, influence politics, stock market, and even cultural norms. However, mass advertising by companies, organizations, and even governments is not such a subtle way of influencing our wants and needs, which results in changing demands and in turn influences who have skill to build a thing itself. Developing in-demand skills is a history-proven way of creating wealth either in the shape of goods or services. On the other hand, for very long, psychology, philosophy, persuasion, persuasion skills, and similar doctrines were reserved for very powerful few. However, the power dynamics have changed as more people access internet and the abundance of information grows. So what you can do is to use your most valuable asset. There are two assets everyone has. One, you can grow. The other one, you can only lose. And no, it's not stock. Those you can only lose these days. I'm talking about money and time. We all have 24 hours in a day and some money in the bank. Ask yourself daily, how can I use my time to create value for others? And how can I get paid for that? Spend time developing skills that can earn you money, not a status, degree, or title, but money. If you have money, you can convert that into different productive assets that can help you to grow your wealth. Acquiring skills rather than things will set you to being valuable to a society, therefore acquiring more capital. Learn along the way how to change the form of monetary assets into something new, meeting demands, influencing the likes of people, or simply investing. If history tends to repeat itself, it has proven time and again, those who adapt and move fast with the changing world are the winners of tomorrow. Your skills in demand and will to learn, ability to change, and persuasion skills are determining factors in 21st century value building forward. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Make sure to check out part 1, a brief history into money of this mini series. Bye!